Ayo, Exile here once again with a new build. This time it's a Sanctum farming build and it's doing my no-hit runs without fail. Okay, except for that one time where I panicked, I weapon swapped, which I shouldn't be able to do in the first place, but I weapon swapped, I lost my flame dash, I clicked on the flame dash, but the flame dash was not there, so I walked into the laser instead of dashing over the laser. Bullshit basically, but going back to the build, the main points that I wanted to cover for a build, which is a Sanctum farming build, right? It's being ranged, big damage, the ability to do that damage while moving, auto-targeting, freezing, pretty looking explosions obviously, and last but not least, zoomies. We get all that in my newest build, Ragebrand. Everything's ready. Okay. Good. Good. Oh no, I used the flask. This is not where I'm supposed to use the flask, dude. Brands, get inspiration, get that. Got him. Didn't even assess his mark. Alright, we got him, boys. We got him. Oh, 3 out of 4 successfully and no hit runs. Let's go. Let's go, dude. Like and subscribe. It is a Stormbrand Inquisitor utilizing my favorite unique item, Calm Spirit Gloves. With proper investment into regen, we have a long-lasting Berserk which gives more damage, more speed, and more defense. Inquisitor duplicates all that life regen onto Energy Shield, so we also get to use Righteous Fire for 40% more damage. We stack some power charges, add some zoom sources, and as an Inquisitor with Inevitable Judgment, we don't have to worry about any elemental curses or different exposures, even if we do different types of elemental damage. We convert lightning damage to cold with Call of the Brotherhood rings, which allows Stormbrand to chill and freeze, so then Heat Shiver adds a chunky 130% cold damage as extra fire. We just slap an Assassin's Mark on bosses and they're gone. It is not expensive to start. 20 to 30 divines should get you the budget dual void battery setup, which has plenty of damage, but to get to my current better, faster, stronger, and nicer clear version, I spent around 150 divines. Explodey Flask, 20 to 30 divines, plus 1 power charge shield base, 20 to 30 divines, Forbidden Flame and Flesh, 40 to 50 divines. Really not cost efficient stuff, but hey, it's worth if you have the monies, right? Another potentially expensive thing is a good double corrupted body armor. You want 2 of any of these mods. Plus 2 AoE gems, plus 2 duration gems, plus 1 socketed gems. From my experience, the most feels good option for the current setup is the Resso's Defiance. It's basically 20% increased attack, cast, and movement speed, and since cast speed scales our damage very well, this is a nice well-rounder. Some interesting alternative options to consider are the Yalla's Malefaction, hands down the best DPS option, up to 60% more damage with correct colors, Ice Tomb, Chill Immunity plus Fat Cold Res, interesting low budget option because it makes gearing a lot easier and cheaper, and Restless Ward. It does require a bit of a different setup to truly shine, but if you have endurance and frenzy charges, this is the best option in my opinion. Since Tainted Fusings are back to being good, you can just look for corruptions and easily link it yourself. One thing to also note, because it's easy to miss, I do have Pain Attunement, but it is on my relic. Just a heads up if you didn't know yet, you can buy these invocations from other players. A slower but more budget option is a Skin of the Lords with Pain Attunement, but it has to have 2 red and at least 3, ideally 4, blue sockets. I'm pretty happy with how the build is performing for what it is, but you know, there's always room for improvement, and I have some ideas for Ragebrand 2.0, right? We have some upgrades. It's not gonna be cheap, it's not gonna be cost efficient, but goddamn it's gonna be fast. Let me show, like, one thing that it gets better at is movement speed, and it's gonna be good. Okay, anyway, this build was not meant, like, it was not designed to be tanking stuff, right? It's designed to do damage but not take damage, or not much of it. But honestly, with a proper setup, it's surprisingly tanky for what it is, for how little defense we have in the build, right? So if you wanna play this build, don't skip this part, and let's look at what is a proper setup. Let's start with the basic stuff: resistances. You need to cap your fire resistance to run Righteous Fire, and it's not hard at all, but Cold and Lightning, oh boy, that's a different story. I was running around with 20 to 30% and never died in Sanctums, but for mapping, that felt very bad. So you really want to get as much resistance on your jewels and look for minus 15% to all elemental resistances roll on the belt. could even get an all-res corruption on it. However, do not neglect the regen roll because it is arguably even more important since you can't use Righteous Fire if you don't have enough regen. Also, Berserk uptime suffers a lot if you have less than 10 rage regen. And the last place where you can get resistances is a flask. I am using the Explodey Flask, which is on a Bismuth base, so I get a huge boost in clear and I get the missing resistances while mapping. The next piece of the tank puzzle, if I may call it that way, Progenesis Amethyst Flask. Not only does it give chaos resistance, but it also makes you able to take 25% bigger hits. Unfortunately, it's not additive with Petrified Blood, it's multiplicative, so we don't get the full 25% more effective life pool from it. But I think it's still the best defensive option for your flasks. Budget setup: if you don't have these expensive unique flasks, instead of Explodey Flask, use a Life Flask with instant recovery when on low life, and instead of Progenesis, use an Amethyst Flask with a high roll of all elemental resistances. And the last piece is having good life recovery. It could be split into two parts, which would be active and passive. The active things are like Leech, Life Gain on Kill, and Life Flasks, and the passive would be Regen, Recoup, and Overleech. So the active part of recovery we have covered in the build. As long as you have enemies to hit or kill, you should be fine. But it is the passive recovery that is important, especially with Petrified Blood and Progenesis combo. We take a lot of damage over time, so if you don't have proper passive recovery, you'll be dying every time you get hit and you don't have enemies to kill or leech from. Because of the gloves we use, all of our investment into life regeneration doesn't apply to life, so only Recoup and Overleech are left. Recoup is simple. 3 passive points on the tree, that alone makes a huge difference. But to bring your passive recovery one step further, you have to adjust your vitality levels according to your setup, based on how much life you have. In my current setup, I can use a level 14 vitality and still be above 50% life preservation, which means my leech keeps recovering my life even though I'm technically at full life with Petrified Blood active. Ashes actually gets rid of this headache, since it gives some global reservation efficiency which lets you use level 21 vitality, have more rage regen, more damage, and it's a bit less life and a bit less speed since you would be losing dexterity that you get for a high level haste. But even at level 1 you gain 20% movement speed and 70% damage, so it's fine. Speaking of haste, I put it in a Divine Blessing setup, but we need quite a bit of mana cost reduction to use it, so this is what I do. The standard alt quality gem combination, Divergent Inspiration, Anomalous Increased Duration, and Divergent Divine Blessing. Additionally, I get this Mana Mastery for 10% reduced cost, and a Militant Faith with reduced mana cost of skills per devotion. For the last bit, I got a Jewel with 5% reduced mana cost of skills. Other auras that I'm using: Wrath, Zealotry, Petrified Blood, all linked with level 4 Enlighten. Again, Ashes of the Stars would provide some additional reservation, so you wouldn't need level 4 Enlighten, or keep the level 4 and you can save 2 passive points, which is also great, but a budget option is to use level 3 Enlighten and just get another jewel with 5% mana cost reduction. I also reserve life with Anomalous Arrogance linked to level 14 Vitality and Herald of Ice. In a no-hit run scenario, there is no need for defense, so this is what you do. Put in Hatred instead of Herald of Ice, and Herald of Ash instead of Petrified Blood, Bottled Faith instead of Explodey Flask, and a Diamond Flask instead of the Chaos Res Flask. This one doesn't do anything for single target, but just to have more consistent freezes while running and killing guards. Before floor bosses, I also do this little swap-peroo. Restless Ward makes my charges last 30 seconds instead of 10, and Relicash Boots give me max charges so I can start the fight with maximum power. Also, this is how we get frenzy charges with Inner Conviction. So you do the swap, place down brands, focus, flame dash for Arcane Surge, when the boss spawns, cast Assassin's Mark, and it should be gone, right? It seems like a lot, but you get used to the rotation and it's not bad at all. I have 2 passive tree setups, normal mapping and full DPS no-hit run. While mapping, I take more life nodes and grab the recoup nodes. As for the no-hit run, I drop those life and recoup nodes to pick up more damage. No jewel swaps, but they are important. 3 medium brand clusters with remarkable and grand design. While none of these notables give a big damage boost on single target, they are mechanically important to feel good while playing Stormbrand. 1 medium crit jewel with pressure points and quick getaway, 2 large clusters, both with Snowstorm, biggest damage notable for the build, and then you want to get Life Leech and Free Spread on either one of them. Also, Saddest is 60% increased damage, so it's nice to get if you can. You can find links to some searches that I used for these jewels myself in the notes section of the POB. On a lower budget, you want to use Soul of the Brine King to get freeze immunity and chill effect reduction, but damage over time effects, especially chaos damage, is very annoying with Petrified Blood in general. With Chaos Spirit Gloves it's even worse since we have no life regen. So swapping into Soul of Arakali is super high value. You can safely do that by getting boots like these. Veiled movement speed with chill avoidance and crafted freeze avoidance. You lose stun protection and stuns can kill you, but with Berserk up, stuns aren't really noticeable. Alright, so listen up here, everybody. That's it for the video. That's it for the build guide, and I hope you liked it, because, oh my god, I've been working... I've been working so long on it. It's... Anyway, I put in above average effort. I got an above average video out of it, and I hope you like it. If you like it, like your own comments, subscribe to the channel, and... you know, check out this video. There's a 50% chance that this video is going to be good. Actually, it will be nice. 69% chance that this video is going to be nice and you will enjoy it. Potentially, there might be another video after. Why am I still here? Why are you still here? Why are you not watching? Go watch the video. Just go watch the video. What are we doing here? By the way, if you're still here, love you.